Okay, guys, this is a test. Here we are at the Rolling Heights Community Coordinating Council, and we're going to be seeing what's happening here. This is on the 21st of October, 2024. Now, if I'm doing the math right here, 21st, and how many days are there in October? 31, right?
Right.
So we've got 10 plus 5, right? That makes 15, right? See, I'm a high school graduate. I can do the math.
Wonderful. You're
Okay.
right on.
It's been one of the many places that we've been kind of looking for. That dude is off the train. He's been here for a bunch of times. Been here for a bunch of times.
Okay, we're just checking out. Okay, we got CHP and John Bella right over here. He's the Roland Water District guy in CHP. And then we got this guy over here with the sheriff checking things out. And we have some new guys here. This new fella right there. I think he's from the Buzz. We're going to see what's buzzing on him tonight. So we're going to put it on pause and wait for the big meeting to start so we don't use up the battery. Okay, bye now. Hang by. Are you ready for this? It's nice if I turn the camera on. Okay, once again, this is Miss Helen Park for the 4th District of Rolling Unified School District coming up, and we're going to find out on November 5. Okay, now we can pause. Okay.
So if we can all take our seats, please. We can all take our seats, please. Okay, 7 o'clock. Let's start with the flag salute. Please stand. Hands over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. You may be seated. Tonight's a little bit different night. Not only will our community speakers be giving their reports, but we're going to let all the different clubs in Rolling Heights give a little spiel on their organizations. They're all 501c3 clubs, and they're going to give you out some great information. So it's a little bit different. Instead of just one speaker, we're going to have several. So we're going to start with Deputy Navarez.
Okay.
And I got your name.
Thank you very much. How's everyone doing tonight?
Hey.
It feels like we haven't been here in a while. That extra week off because of the holiday. Like I said, it seems like we've had an extended period of time that we've actually met. But for the past month, it's actually, like I said, we've been pretty busy. So a couple things just to bring up. First and foremost, we ended up hosting a CERT class. So CERT is your Community Emergency Response Team. And what I tell people for the most part, in case of a major emergency, the rule of thumb is for the first 3 days, the first 72 hours, as a community, you guys are kind of on your own because you're figuring fire department and the sheriff's department are going to be responding to emergencies. They're really not going to get you a community for the first 3 days. So that's how we encourage these CERT programs. As community members, you guys can come together and you guys provide that initial aid until we become available. So we had that posted back, it was October 4th, 5th, and 6th at the station. And we did it in collaboration with LA County Fire. It was a 20-hour course. We ended up having 36 members from the community come out, and they all got certified. So now they're actually certified for CERT, so they're first responders in that sense. But it was, like I said, it was a great showing. Back in September 27th. I know there's been a couple people that in the last meeting we brought it up. We had a homeless encampment that was on Kalima and Otterbein. There's a big private property there. It's the address is 1531 Otterbein. So we had an encampment there. We had about 12 to 16 people within that location. And it was one of the major complaints and one of the concerns that we had within the community. So fortunately, we were able to get in touch with the registered owner of the property. We got a letter of agency. What a letter of agency lets the sheriff's department do is, it gives us the authority to enforce trespassing or illegal lodging in that case. So we, and like I said, we came out, did an operation, we came out with our host team. Our host team is our homeless outreach team. So anytime there's more than 5 people within an encampment, we have to get our host team involved because we have to provide resources. We can't just go in there, arrest, and then kick people out of a location. We have to go, offer resources, see if they want to be relocated or rehabilitated, and then from there, we can actually remove them from that location and so forth. So we went 48 hours before we actually contacted them. We posted a sign saying, hey, 48 hours are gonna come. If you're still on the property, you're gonna be cited, and any person or any belongings that are found within the property are considered trash or debris at that point, and the registered owner gets rid of them. We ended up contacting 5 people that day. They were cited or released. Like I said, they were all arrested, cited. The host team came in, offered them resources. Like I said, I know you guys are kind of already used to this. Of the 5 people that we offered resources to, only 1 person actually accepted them. So the other 4 said, no, I'm okay, and continued to live within Rolling Heights the way you see them. Like I said, you still see them on Nogales, you still see them on Colima. October 10th and 11th, like I said, the other big issue we have within our community is vehicle burglaries. So within Rolling Heights, we have a couple shopping centers that have a lot of traffic within them, especially on Friday, Saturday nights. So I'm talking about Diamond Plaza, which is Fullerton. We have Yes Plaza on Fullerton as well. Hong Kong Plaza on Colima, just off of between Batson and Jellic. Then we have all the shops off of Gale. So we have the 99 Ranch and also where the Boiling Crab is off of Gale and Nogales. Those are the big areas that we, and one more. We have the shopping center off of Layton Court, which is Pearl Plaza. So those are the big locations we've noticed the biggest increase in vehicle burglaries. So we did a 2-day operation within there to do some kind of suppression for the vehicle burglaries. We know that there's, like I said, we've caught a crew in the past that came out of Vegas. We know there's another crew that's within the area, so that's who we're trying to catch at the time. But like I said, outside of that, like I said, we're open to what's going on within the community. We're aware of the trends, the primary issue being homelessness right now in the encampments. Like I said, when we go address these issues, there are protocols and policies that we have to go abide by. Any questions? Yes, ma'am. To have the homelessness? So when it comes to private property like that, like I said, a lot of these locations are private property. So like the one we have them on Otterbein. The other common location you'll see a lot of people on is off of Nogales or Deseta, depending on where they encamp. And then the other big one is on the camp behind Green Bay. There's a sound wall behind Pearl Plaza. That's actually state property. So when it comes to those properties, you guys would contact us. We would come in. Like I said, we have a policy that after more than 5 people within an encampment, we have to come in with the host team to provide some kind of resources at that point. So like I said, my recommendation is still contact us. We'll set up an operation where we'll like I said, contact site, we'll arrest, and then provide resources at the end of it.
Because they're all up and down tonight. There's a whole slew of baskets.
Yeah, so everything within Nogales, like I said, you see them up and down with the baskets. When it comes with those, like I said, the carts, and I know I've addressed them in the past. Well, all these carts are owned by some kind of corporation, some kind of business. We've collected them in the past and taken them to those businesses, and they don't want them back. So what we end up doing is we'll set up when we do an operation, we'll communicate with Public Works, and then with Public Works, we'll try to dispose of some of these carts. But then they just keep getting more carts later on. So a lot of these individuals are getting cited. Like I said, we have the ones on Nogales, we have another set of carts that are always on Jellic and Colima. So they are being cited about every 2 weeks by us. There's just nowhere for us to send them. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned Jellic and Colima, you cleaned them out, or somebody did, that guy was gone for a while.
So he was, so like I
If it was right after the last meeting, you said more than 2 cars, that's all it could have. And my daughter comes over and she goes, Mom, somebody's cleaning up the neighborhood. I didn't even realize it at that minute. But today I was going to work and I saw people going in the street on those little scooters and bikes and somebody pushing a stroller because they can't get past it again on the sidewalk. They were on that side.
On the same side. So like I said, she's talking about off of Jellicoe, Colima, it's gonna be the south part, south of Colima. So like I said, we make an effort, so we have multiple people within our team, within our special assignment team. A lot of them do a lot of these sighting at night, because that's normally where we'll contact transits because they head back to wherever location they're sleeping that night. So that's where you'll see a cleanup temporarily, because we just cited, worked with Public Works to remove some of those carts. But like I said, at the end of the day, because it's just a site, the DA is not filing anything, you're seeing the return. So within a week or two, they'll return. Even on an encampment, we can go in an encampment, remove everyone, and in about 2 to 3 months, that encampment will fill up.
Okay, Roy?
Like,
The fella that is camping out in the island there at Nogales and Colima, and he stays there, leaves his stuff overnight. It seems like we should, some intervention, that's a good word, should occur with that gentleman.
so I know exactly, so there's a gentleman that's always on the island, it's gonna be just north of Colima on Nogales. There's a divider that divides the traffic that goes north and south off of, has his chairs, has drinks set up. So it's one of those, like I said, because of his circumstances, we are working with our host team, which is like I said, our homeless outreach team, to try to get him to get relocated. Like I said, when it comes to it, there's obstacles that we must overcome before we can actually start moving.
How about endangered? Isn't that endangered?
Well, endangered, like I said, when it comes to endangerment, you think more like a 5150, like danger itself.
No, like endangered fire.
But we can cite people, like I said, we can cite him, and he's been contacted for being within that divider, because there's vehicle code violations for that. But as far as like physically removing someone like that, because he's not running into traffic, we're not gonna put hands on someone like that. Like I said, it's outweighing like risk and reward in that situation.
Are there any other questions for Deputy Navarez?
Yes, sir.
I saw the indicated, I think, Riverside, he is starting to cite electronic bikes, electric bikes, all violations that they're doing. What is the sheriff's department trying to do in our area?
Said when it comes to electronic bikes, I'll let CHP talk about it a little bit more. From what we have understanding right now, there's not much vehicle code wise for us to enforce anything with that. Which is why, like I said, they're kind of stuck in limbo right now. However, like I said, I will let CHP address a little bit more when it comes to traffic on that.
Any other questions for Deputy Navarez? I don't see any, so we'll move on to Officer O'Toole from the California Highway Patrol. Oh, and before Mr. O'Toole goes on, I forgot to introduce my board. Our first Vice President, Denise Jackman. Our our recording secretary, Wanda Ewing. Our corresponding secretary, Jots Carr. And I am Yvette Romo, the president of the Rowland Heights Community Coordinating Council.
Good evening, everyone. To follow up on your question, like Deputy Navarro said, there's not anything in the vehicle code yet. They're working on it because the electric bikes got out before they start making the laws for them. We can articulate. I mean, we can write, impeding traffic or, unsafe, crossing the street, whatever it might be, unsafe speed. We can articulate it to a judge. It's a matter of if it flies in the courtroom or not. So that's up to the judge. But as far as electric bike specific, there is nothing in the vehicle code yet that I
Okay,
can
I got a question about that. Are they considered a vehicle or a bicycle?
Yes.
But they are. They should be either on the street or they're on the sidewalk. And the way they're doing it now, they're actually kind of targeting pedestrians. So pedestrians are not using the sidewalk maybe as much as they were. They're taking their life in their own hands. These are not small electric bikes. These things are maybe about 200 pounds.
At the speeds they go, it should be considered a vehicle. However, they don't have CCs, so anything, a motorcycle itself, anything over 50 CCs, you're required to have a motorcycle license, and it can be on the road, and it has to have a license plate. However, these are electric, so they don't have, you know, remote engine on them. But again, they can reach, you know, good speeds going.
The bicycle rules being enforced anymore? You used to have rear light, front light, helmets for.
We can enforce them. Again, jaywalking's not even a crime. Unless you step out in front of a vehicle and, you know, cause it to stop or swerve from its regular path, you can cross the street anywhere you want to in Ellicott, if not the state. So, that's the thing with, you know, with our job, and Deputy Navarez can back this up, our hands are, you know, for lack of a better term, handcuffed for what we can do. Because unless, like I said, we got good judges and we got bad judges where, you know, if they see it's a safety issue, then the judges will side on our side. And as long as we can articulate it, that it was a safety issue and that somebody can get hurt, then all the better. But a lot of times we go into court and I'm testifying in front of a pro tem, which is basically an attorney acting like the judge, and it's, you know, it's not an actual judge, it's just, you know, somebody filling in, like a substitute teacher. I know. I only have a few things. The month of, let's see here, August, we had 38 traffic collisions. For the month of September, we had 27, which is a decrease, which is good. Hopefully that means that we're out there and you guys are doing your part as well. Again, we're spoiled middle of October, and it's late October, and it's 85 degrees out, so the rain's coming. Just be prepared for it if you haven't prepared for it yet. Windshield wipers, tires, and the first few rains, that's when the oil's going to come up on the roadway, so slow down. Prepare when you leave to give yourself a little extra time. And remember, school is back in session, so there's going to be kids walking to school and, you know, more foot traffic out there as opposed to the summer days. Lastly, I just want to say that we had another freeway shooting. It was on the 91 freeway in Long Beach, Friday morning at 2:20 in the morning. Again, you know, we're getting one version, one side of the story, so I don't know the whole, you know, spectrum of things. The victim said he was just driving in the number 1 lane, heard a pop, and pulled over. I saw a sedan pass him in the carpool lane. As he pulled over, pulled out the freeway, checked his vehicle, and saw that there was a bullet hole in the left rear quarter panel of his vehicle. Again, his version, he's, you know, driving straight, no issues prior to this, doesn't say anything. Who knows what could have happened before that? Again, he's going to give us the, you know, the good guy version of it all. But it's still no reason for, you know, somebody to shoot. Again, as I've said in the past, just if you accidentally cut somebody off, whatever it might be, don't flash your lights, don't throw up a hand, whether it's, you know, all 5 fingers or 1 finger or whatever it might be, just don't do it. If there's a little road rage situation going on, like I said in the past, exit the freeway. Hopefully you get stuck at a red light, allow that vehicle to get down the freeway 2 miles, get back on the freeway. Hopefully you never see that person again, because it's not worth it. These people have zero regard for human life, so don't let that be you or your family. Last meeting, somebody brought up the issue about the traffic coming out of the shopping center at Albatross and Colima. I have since sat there. I sat there one day, I sat there for 2 hours, I wrote 10 tickets in a matter of 2 hours, so basically 1 every 10 minutes. But again, I'm sure there was more violations, but as I'm writing a ticket, they take advantage, you know, while the fox is away from the hen hound, they take advantage of it. So I'm doing what I can. I got another complaint on Green Castle and Colima I'm gonna go check out. If you have any traffic complaints, please let me know, feel free. I love to do my job and hopefully make you guys happy. And again, I don't want to be too predictable out there. So when they say, oh, this cop sits here on Wednesdays between 2 and 12 and 2 or whatever it might be, I like to catch people off guard, and then, you know, hopefully the word gets out that, you know, you can't be doing that, running the stop signs or failing to be a regulatory sign or whatever it may be. I'll take any questions, comments, concerns. Yes, ma'am.
Late at night, like around 11 o'clock, when it's quiet down, you can hear cars spinning their wheels. Are you still getting complaints of the street closures?
It's nonstop. It's nonstop. All 911 and report it. And we'll get officers there as fast as we can. However, like I've said in the past, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, like I've said in the past, we're running about 20 officers short. We keep getting bodies out of the academy, but we still get people that retire, transfer, and And if, we, on a graveyard shift, we might have one car, one two-man car per freeway. And if that car on the 60 freeway is booking a DUI suspect, then your closest officers might be on the 605. So by the time they get here, those guys are done doing their little stunts and they're gone. So, but don't let that deter you from calling. Please call. Those calls for lack of a better term, we salivate, and we want to catch these guys because we're tired just as much as you are. So better we can make a statement by stopping this thing and saying go somewhere else. Yes, sir.
Is there a law against vehicles that sound like a giant leaf blower or a lawn mower or something like that? Because up and down the lane, when I live off Kaboom, you can hear way back up apartment complex. They have a Kaboom, and it sounds like a giant lawnmower. Like they put a lawnmower.
Yes, modified exhaust is against the law. It can't be anything other than stock is against the law. So I mean, you can walk out of the parking lot and if you change any modified your engine whatsoever, I can write you a ticket. But I'm just as sick of them as you are. Yeah, if they try and get as loud as they can, and then when it's quiet outside, it amplifies even more, or in the mornings, whatever it might be. I don't love as much as they can. I don't know where they get these things from. Like you said, I don't know if it's on North Store or where they get their engine. Trying to get it. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, next up, from the 1st District Supervisor Hilda Solis is Andrea Moreno.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? All right. I love it. So just I have a couple of announcements for you. First, I know I saw some of the community groups out this weekend at the Bookboard Festival, so thank you so much to all of you that were able to make it out there. We had a lot of fun. We had enough food, free food for 500 participants, and we were completely sold out by about 12:30, I would say, something like that. So there definitely a lot of people came through. People really liked the boba, the burgers, the hot dogs, the ice cones, etc. So again, thank you for those of you that were able to make it, especially our law enforcement partners, Deputy Nevarez and Officer O'Toole were there. So you can see that we have very dedicated public servants, being out here in the weekend in our community. So thank you again. I also wanted to make sure that you were aware of this past week, we celebrated the opening of the one-stop shop in La Puente. This is our regional center for our unincorporated community. So that means residents in Roland Heights, Hacienda Heights, the Puente Valley, even as far as Covina, Souza. If you're looking for plan checks, if you're trying to meet with the Department of Public Works, if you're trying to talk to regional planning because your bathroom collapsed or something and you need to make it bigger because now you have a reason to, right? These are all things that you can talk to in person here in the region instead of having to go to downtown LA. So we're very proud of this. It was a long time coming. This is something that the supervisor, was working since she first got into office. So that was back in 2015. So to see, a building from the 1950s and 60s being transformed to a state-of-the-art facility, you can just see, especially county, the people that are going to be servicing the counter and other folks be very excited about their new parking lot, their lunch area. So really bringing, that sense of dignity and newness in a way, right, to our county workforce as well as to our local residents. So we're very happy about that. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I do have flyers that are over here in the signing table for you to take. I also want to share with you that we have an Adopt a Shelter Dog Month event coming up at Whittier Narrows this weekend, so that's October 26th. They're going to have free pet supplies as well, so if you're interested in that, parking fees are going to be waived. And so again, this Adopt a Shelter Dog Month event is also going to be waiving the fees if you adopt a dog through the LA County Department of Animal Care and Control. The spay and neuter and microchip services will be waived. So get a dog for virtually nothing. Then I also want to share with you, I left this flyer at the front as well. This is the Los Angeles County Housing Resource Center, and the reason I brought it out today is because I know some of you are part of agencies. You're going to be doing some presentations later tonight, and the LA County Housing Resource Center is a website that has special logins for our agencies that work with people that may have special needs. So this could be anything from special groups such as veterans, frail and elderly, emancipated youth, homeless clients, mentally ill clients, any other clients that you may service. You can have a direct access to information about specific units. Sometimes we have landlords, right, that work with the county because they want to have a steady rent check, and they want to provide, say, their rental unit to a specific population because they're passionate about it. So a landlord may be passionate about veteran services, right? And so they contract with the county to rent specifically to veterans, or rent specifically to people with impairments, or rent specifically to people that are low income. Whatever the landlord would like to work on, the county has this resource center online where there's listings, right, or rental properties. So working directly with landlords to ensure that they're able to house the populations that they're passionate about. So if you are an agency that would like to be connected to LACTA, which is the LA County Housing Authority, I have the flyers on the resource signing table up there for you to take as well. Or maybe you know someone, right? It doesn't always have to be you doing all of the work. Sometimes you may have a friend or a colleague that might be interested in this information. So I really thank you for checking that out and making sure that you take that with you if that's something that you can use. Those are my announcements for today. Oh, one last thing. Our office is planning a Veteran Expo for 2025, hopefully in the first quarter, so I'll definitely keep you updated, but I do want to let you know that one important thing that we are really hoping for, and I think we heard it from our LASD and CHP partners, is that they're constantly recruiting and they just need more help. They need more people to join their ranks, right? And so we're doing everything that we can to ensure that people are aware that they're hiring, that it's a good place to work, that it's a good place to retire from. And so it's an honorable profession. It's something that you do because you have the heart for the community. So we're gonna be heavily focusing on the job aspects at the Vet Expo next year. And we're also, throughout the year, always trying to include our Youth at Work program. It's a feeder program for youth 16 to 24 to get into county service through the Parks Department and other, a little bit more fun type of jobs, so that they can get a feel for the county. And so hopefully, that becomes a pipeline into our future public servants. So, if that's something that you're passionate or interested about, definitely talk to me about it, because we really want to make a very big, successful event next year for the veterans and the community at large. And that is it for me. I'll open it up to questions.
Okay, are you aware of the Caltrans in Los Angeles? I think I'm loud enough. Am I loud enough for you folks? Can you hear me? Okay. That we have a population statewide in the county of Los Angeles here in our area of transients making a habitat for humanity in all of our storm drains and Will Road. And you say, okay, well, what about this? I plunged through some paperwork today in 2022. Caltrans came up with a plan. And guess what? There's all kinds of backup documents here that they did. And guess what? It was addressed to. So I wanna share that with you, take a look at it, because it's a group situation, it isn't just Caltrans, but we all work together. So if you share that, I'm gonna share it with Caltrans at some point. It's been out there, they have, do it.
Thank you, Roy.
Are there any other questions? David?
Yes, can you give us some more information about Proposition G? That's the one where they want to expand our supervisors to 9 supervisors, and then actually have one person that will be in charge of it. Can you give us some information on, who is gonna be the redistricting maps or anything for that, when you do that? And second of all, how will it be funded? Are they gonna go, I know their Proposition H is being sunsetted, which means it's gonna be annual, but there's a new proposition that they wanna do for the homeless, which is gonna be more, and from what I understand, the county will be using part of that fund that. Are these facts, or can you give us more information on it?
Sure. So, in terms of Measure G, that is a measure that's on the ballot this November. For Measure G, like you mentioned, there is a proposal to make the county be more like the state and the city of Los Angeles, in the sense that you would have one executive position, right? So like a mayor or a governor, and then you would have a legislative body, so the supervisors, or like a city council, or like the state legislature, right? So in that setup, you have a separation of powers. You have the executive branch and you have the legislative branch. Currently, the county has 5 supervisors, and it has one CEO, which is like a city manager. In that setup, you don't have an executive that can make an ultimate decision, right? If there's like a tie or something. So with the 5 supervisors right now, the legislative and the executive branch is the same person. So Supervisor Solis, for example, your representative, is both the executive and the legislative power for our area. So Measure G proposes separating that so that no, like the board would be able to have the separation of powers instead of currently together as it's been for since its inception.
How will they set up the different new supervisor districts? Will they do?
So the districts are set by the Redistricting Commission. It is a commission that is completely separate from the supervisors. So like we had in 2020, right? Or was it 2020 or 2021? 2020 is the census, right? Based on the census numbers. Then on 2021, the commission decides, okay, now we have 10 million people in the county, now we have 12 million people in the county, etc. However many people there are, they know that we have 5 supervisors, so then they try to make it as equal as possible. That commission is a separate body outside of the Board of Supervisors, and that was created so that the supervisors don't have undue influence on how their districts are drawn. So the Redistricting Commission from 2020, right, was formed specifically for that decade. So in 2030, when we have the new census data, a new commission will be formed for the Redistricting Commission in 2021. If there's a change in the county, right, that sets more or less supervisors, then the commission will have to decide how to break up those districts. What would make most sense to keep communities of interest together.
And what's to prevent it, like the last time of gerrymandering the districts? Because I know every year, every 10 years, you have a census, and then that determines exactly how all the districts will be done. So whoever's in charge of the government determines exactly how we're gonna make the districts. Will there be any type of, community involvement, community input, to let us know how we can, make sure that we get the right representative, we don't get cut up because of certain aspects or certain, people in the community?
So I can speak on 2020 because, I happen to be witness to it. Again, the redistricting commission is separate from the people that run the government, right? Because the people that run the government here in the county are the supervisors. We have 5 of them. Now, the board does not get to decide who or where or how the districts are drawn. That job has been taken from the board by legislative action, and that power was given to the independent redistricting commission to make those determinations. I can't speak to what will happen in 2030, right? But I can speak to how it was in 2020. And in 2020, there were multiple community meetings where people had a chance to speak at every single one. And when I say people, I mean all 10 million people that reside in the county of Los Angeles. These meetings took place online because, as you may remember, what happened in 2020? COVID happened. So there wasn't a lot that we could do in person. But residents of the county got a chance to go to public meetings online and provide public comment where they said, hey, I think that my community should stay in this district for this reason, or I think my community should stay with this neighboring community because we have an interest in staying together. We don't want to be broken up, and we don't want one side of our community to be taken by one district and another to be taken by a different supervisorial district because it will make things too confusing for us locally here. Now, some cities, many cities, mayors and council members also spoke at the meetings, and they said, we are a big city and we do not want to be broken up. We believe that our entire city should be part of the same supervisorial district. So there was many community opportunities to provide the public input in 2020. I can only expect that it would be the same or more, just given how connected we are with social media and with the internet, and how important community outreach has become in our era of connectivity.
Hold on, David, you've asked 3 questions, so hold on 1 second. Denise, go ahead.
So the question is we have issues in our community that our supervisor doesn't hear or doesn't want to take into consideration. Who's gonna represent the unincorporated county? Because we had issues with Royal Vista and you guys didn't care to hear about it. And so we're all pretty frustrated with the fact that we have no representation at that level. If you're saying that they're breaking it up and they're gonna change all these different areas, is there gonna be a person from each area that represents the community or the area that you're designating? Or is it just gonna be another, shield of protection for the supervisors to not do what they're supposed to do?
So first, I want to say that I took all of your comments very seriously on Royal Vista. We had not only come to this meeting to hear about what you had to say almost every single time that you met, but we also had specific independent meetings with you, specifically, like literally on the other side of this wall, right? We had those meetings, we heard what you had to say, and that was taken into consideration. Listening and taking an ultimate hard decisions are not always the same thing, right? When you have multiple things to take into consideration, you listen to those multiple things and ultimately make a final decision. But we cannot always, unfortunately, do every single thing that our residents want as much as we would love to do that. In terms of the question about unincorporated communities, typically, at least for the redistricting commission, they made an emphasis on making sure that geographically, one of the most important things they took into consideration was how close and compact they could make a district. Because sometimes, especially in the past, sometimes districts were drawn in a way like the City of Industry is currently, right? You have like one long stretch, it's kind of like a snake. And that makes it very difficult for neighboring communities sometimes to understand not just where they live, but how to do commerce and how to ensure that an elected official can properly represent an area. So when you have compact districts, you are able to, theoretically, right, this is what the people that are in the redistricting commission said, you have a more compact community of interest. One of the things you don't want to happen, right, is to have islands where you have one elected official, for example, represent an area that is then surrounded by a different elected official, because then when you're talking about regional movement or regional issues, it's very hard for that elected official that has that island to properly represent, especially when, if you can imagine if you have like Rowland Heights as an island, and then your supervisor represents all of the coastal communities. It doesn't, to the commission, they talked about how that doesn't make a lot of sense because there's not a lot of commonality, and also just as an emergency preparedness, right, it's too tough to provide those critical services.
City of Industry has no commonality with Rowland Heights, none. Because they're all corporations that are there, they have 200
Businesses. Yeah, those are great comments for the redistricting commission, which again I want to emphasize is completely separate, and I forgot the word I used earlier. It's the redistricting commission for the county is completely independent from the supervisors. The supervisors do not get a say on how the lines are drawn.
We need to move on, so John, you wanna go ahead and give a question?
These commissioners, where are they being taken from or appointed from? Who appoints this new commission?
The new commission, you know, I would have to get back to you on exactly how the appointments are made, but I do remember there was an application process in 2020. I just, off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I don't remember like how the final decision comes to be. Of course.
Roy?
Okay, folks, don't get the cart before the horse. Get all heated up for nothing. This thing is going, Eric Previn, an attorney and guru of Los Angeles County Supervisor meetings, this is a dead in the water. And the CEO is elected. Where is the power of control between the, have 9, have 20 of them. Where's the power? So you're getting all out there for nothing. Kill this thing and get over with it. It's dead.
Thank you, Roy. Jux, last one.
I want to say, I want to ask you or point out what you said is that the commissioning board or the districting board, they have created preventive measures in order to prevent gerrymandering from occurring by making sure every district is equal in constituents.
That is their stated goal. That it always happens, you know, I can't guarantee that, but that is certainly the reasoning behind why the redistricting commission was established and taken independently versus how it happened before the supervisor took office, where the supervisors themselves talked to each other and said, I want this, I want that, right? After 2010, that was no longer a legal option, and so that is why the redistricting commission was established so that it could be independent. So in 2020, the supervisors that were on the board did not get a say on how our districts were drawn.
Thank you, Andrea. We're gonna move on to Los Angeles Parks and Recs with Lawrence Loop.
Good evening, everyone. Whew. Those are very serious topic and very important, of course. But now let me try to switch the. So now we are toward end of the October, which means the Halloween is on the way. So I'd like to invite you all to the our park event, Trick or Treat Village. So starting from this Wednesday, we have a Trick or Treat Village here at Pathfinder Park. And on Friday, we have another one at Karen Roses Park, as well as on the next Wednesday, the 30th, is at Roland High Park. So please bring the family, come to enjoy the, of course, we have a trunk or treat, we have candies, we have activities, and some snacks. So please welcome everybody to join our park event for this week and next week. Thank you very much.
Okay, next. Next we have Crystal, but I don't see her. So we'll move on to Yulissa, and I don't see Yulissa here either. Nathan is not here, Stephen is not here. So we have the Roland Unified School District, and I didn't know which board member was coming today. So it would be Kevin Hayakawa, who's going to do the Roland Unified School District report.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yvette.
So, Roland Unified School District.
There we go. Roland Unified School District is extremely proud to announce that our District Teacher of the Year from last year, Miss Paula Stella Martinez from Telesys Academy of Science and Math, was recently honored as one of the top 16 Los Angeles County Teachers of the Year. This is really special because it's the first time that a teacher from our district has received this prestigious recognition. Paula herself, yeah, she's not here tonight, unfortunately. Give her a round of applause. Paula herself is a proud RUSD alumna and is a graduate from Stanford University. She teaches history and English to 7th and 8th graders and is responsible for developing the award-winning debate program at Telesys Academy. Paula comes from a family of RUSD educators. Her mother was an educational leader at the district, and her sister and brother-in-law are both currently teachers at Roland High School, with that brother-in-law being my former sophomore English teacher, Mr. Jonathan Hyatt. And more awards for RUSD, our very own Superintendent Alex Flores, who is here with us tonight in the back row. Go ahead and stand up, Alex. He was recognized by our state senator, Bob Archuleta, who represents the 30th Senate District, for his contributions to the Hispanic and Latino community as an educational leader for National Hispanic Heritage, which recently ended. Senator Archuleta is honoring many different Latino leaders across California who have made an impact in their respective communities, and Superintendent Flores was awarded for his more than 30 years of service in the field of education and of being a leader in our community for the past 9 years. So congratulations, Mr. Flores. Some more local events. The community is invited to yet another trunk or treat. So Roland High School is having our first Harvest Festival, first annual Harvest Festival on Wednesday, October 30th. 5 to 8 p.m. in the school's parking lot. This event will feature a trunk or treat for elementary age students, candy, games, and fun for all ages. The school is currently accepting candy donations as well as cash and check donations for the event. Please note that if you do choose to donate candy, they must be individually wrapped and sealed, and they can be dropped off at the office. I'm personally sponsoring the event, so I invite you to join me in sponsoring the event. Then we just wanted to wrap up our report with some helpful Halloween safety tips for the community from safekids.org. So we have 5 safe walking tips and 6 safe driving tips. So for walking, number one, only cross the street at street corners, specifically those, if you can, that have traffic signals and crosswalks. Look left, look right, look left again, and if it were me, I would look right again when crossing, and please keep looking as you continue to cross. And of course, pass on these tips to your kids and grandkids. Put electronic devices down for heads up and walk. Do not run when crossing the street. Number 3, teach children to make eye contact with drivers before crossing in front. Number 4, always walk on sidewalks or paved pavements. If there are no sidewalks, then you actually walk against the flow of traffic. So you walk facing traffic as far to the left as possible so that you can see oncoming traffic. Oncoming traffic can see you. Children should always walk on direct routes with the fewest street crossings possible. And lastly, for walking tips, watch for cars that are turning or backing up. Teach children to never dart out into the street or cross between parked cars. And then for adults in the room, extra safe driving tips, especially on Halloween night. Slow down and be especially alert in residential neighborhoods. Children obviously tend to be very excited on Halloween nights and can move in unpredictable ways. Take extra time to look for kids at intersections, on medians and on curbs. Exit and enter driveways and alleys slowly and carefully. Get rid of any distractions like your phone in your car so that you can concentrate on the road and your surroundings. Turn on your headlights earlier in the day or earlier in the evening and afternoon to spot children from greater distances. And then popular trick-or-treating hours are 5:30 to 9:30 p.m., so please be especially alert for kids during those hours. So that pretty much concludes our report from the district. I'm happy to take any questions if anybody has any. Yes, Roy.
Okay, and I really appreciate the stirs up the gray matter, the old head here about safety and all that. But I was going through some papers in my desk today about that, Keith, and it came up 2023 EdSource. It's a very authoritative source for education in California, and it had this title, California Reading Dilemma. Whoa, didn't I see something else? And then EdSource, here's May 14th, 2024, and it says fewer than half of California students are reading by 3rd grade. Okay, and even fewer Black and Latino students meet the standard. How long is this going to go? I've been involved in this for decades and haven't seen any change, and I'm for persons coming in. What they do is take the education department and can it. Get rid of it. It's useless. They're just wasting everybody's money, including the Los Angeles.
Question, Roy? Is there a question there?
The question is, when are you going to get it so that you can get rid of the education department? And when are they going to start reading by 3rd grade, for God's sake?
So I'm a school board member for
Now, I gotta make an exclusion there.
I'm responsible for all students in California, nor am I responsible for the entire country through the Department of Education. So I don't have the power to abolish the U.S. Department of Education. I don't have all the numbers off the top of my head, but I can tell you that in terms of standardized testing, our district is performing above the LA County average, and we're also performing above the statewide average. We have more than 90%, maybe more than 95% graduation rates at all 3 of our high schools. We're not perfect in every way by any means possible. We can have a more detailed conversation about how standardized tests themselves are problematic, and there's always going to be a cutoff between proficient and not satisfactory. We're doing the best work that we possibly can. We're going to have an upcoming study session in the coming months to analyze the test results from the standardized testing that occurred in the spring, so I invite you to attend that board study session.
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to address, Roy, what the district is doing wherever you are. I've been involved forever as a teacher in Roland Unified, but during COVID, we put together a team of volunteers that brought parents, caregivers, grandparents, whoever wanted to come online, and we taught them, we're reading recovery teachers, district trained this years ago, and that training doesn't go away, to train those people on how to help their kids read. Number one, the district is doing stuff. Number two, there's another thing starting now where we're gonna be training grandparents to work in the classroom with these at-risk readers. And number three, any of you are invited that are concerned about reading to contact your local schools and offer to go in and read with the kids. The school district is not locked up. I mean, we got gates for safety, but you go in with your TB test and your chest x-rays or whatever they need us to have. And even as a volunteer now, and I did a reading group this morning with at-risk kids over at Yervita, you can do it.
Well,
So
then you've
the district
yeah.
itself is doing everything they can, and I applaud the board for all of this stuff that is happening in our district. So I'm with you. The numbers, you have to look at and yeah, are we underperforming? Probably in some schools, but they're working on getting that up.
And as a matter of fact, I published that on the Buzz and
Right,
Newsweek
right, this is
and
in
on
the
my site.
dialogue between communities, you know, the speaker speaks and then you ask questions to the community.
I do that.
Thank you very much.
I knew I.
Absolutely, thank you very much for your comment. Are you good, Kevin?
Yeah, we're good. I just wanted to highlight our friend in the front row here works with our foundation in the district. That's our teachers. So I just wanted to thank you for your service.
Okay, the last community partner to speak is Judy Chen Haggerty. She's not here today, but she sent me what she wanted to announce. From the School of Continuing Education, an open house is hosting an open house on Tuesday, October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 12:30, and again in the evening from 6 to 8 p.m. Stop by and explore tuition-free educational opportunities. There's also a planetarium Halloween theme show. These are two different shows, Halloween Happenings and Phantoms of the Universe, and each show is 30 minutes long. It's recommended for all ages. Seniors are $1, children under 5 are $1, and the general public is $4. That's at the planetarium on October 25th. And those are the two announcements from Judy Chen Haggerty from Mount SAC. We are going to move on to our keynote speakers. And today, like I mentioned earlier, it's a little bit different. It's not just one speaker. There are the various 501c3 groups that are here in Rowland Heights. You may know them, you may not know them. So they're here to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they're doing. And I'm not sure how we're going to do this. Are we going to have them lined up? Our first VP of programs, Denise, set this up. Okay, so those were the directions. So if you are a 501c3 and have spoken to Denise to be on the program, we can start lining up right here on the right-hand side, my right-hand side, your left-hand side. And I think we're gonna have Kiwanis go first. We're gonna have Kiwanis go first. And she looks like she's excited to get going.
Yes, I'm absolutely very excited to have this opportunity to share what, Kiwanis.
Do you want to start speaking and I'll pass those out for you?
Yeah, maybe.
Hello, community, Rowland Heights community. I'm actually a resident here. Both my kids grew up in Rowland Unified School District, very proud parents, and my daughter actually was in this organization while she was in high school, and that's how I got to know this amazing program. We are a service organization that we work a lot with kids and giving back to our community. And if you want to take a look at the flyer that I hand out, being a volunteer is not, we don't get paid. but seeing how the kids have grown up and making an impact, it's like almost a domino effect that you can do without, how do you say? Like, I'm not educated to be a teacher, but still have the opportunity given to me through this organization to provide safe and meaningful events and service together alongside with all this youth group. And it changed my life, it changed my daughter's life, and now I just want to continue that duty, what I enjoy doing, what is my passion, and I'm now spreading the joys to everyone, hopefully that we can all be part of it. And this is, we work together. I have a few members present here as well that we're very proud to have IUSD join as our corporate member, and working together with them, hopefully to enhance, to provide leadership for more students and within our community, giving back. So one of the projects that we do, if you turn to the page behind, it shows that what kind of projects that we actually do, participating, collaborate with the school district. For example, the Stuffer Bus is when we stand outside with all our youth group, our Key Clubber, our K-Kids from Roland Elementaries, Key Club from Nogales, from Roland High School. What we're missing right now is the Beauties Club. So we are working together to form something like that, so that when they were outside Walmart and they're asking for people, stranger, to contribute back to our Family Resource Center, and very kindly that the school district have the bus out there for us. So we stuff all these boxes of stationery that we ask people to donate to this particular projects, to give back to the students that were in need there from our own very own Family Resource Center. So with kids, helping kids, understanding the needs of the kids, I think it helped them grow and helped them think. It is also giving them the opportunity to step forward and talking to strangers. That is not a scary thing to do. So after COVID, noticing a lot of changes to our kids' behavior, hopefully this gives them the opportunity to train them to talk. It's okay to talk to other people, but of course in a safe environment that under, the chaperones that are experienced to help guide them through this. And so we need adults to help our youth. And if you have, like I believe that if you're a teacher, retired teachers, anyone that have gone through, how do I put this? That if you have some time to spare, come out and actually maybe participate. I have post my event out on the Roland Heights bus and the community. And if you see anything, come out and check it out, and you will see how the kids work. Maybe that will motivate you to join me and the rest of my club at the same organization to help grow more and give more opportunity to these kids. And if you have any ideas or any things that you would like to, bring and wants to create some sort of a goals, that's something that you're passionate about, to give back to this community, we welcome your ideas, and hopefully you can be part of our organization, and let's grow what you are passionate about to give back and help out in our own community. So I'm gonna open it up and see if anyone have any question about the program, about Kiwanis. I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Happy. You can see my information at the very back right here. We do have a Facebook page. If you want to check out what our event that we have done prior, feel free to check it out, and hopefully you can like our page as well. And then if there's something come up, it will show, it will give you the notification. And my contact information is there as well. And if you want to call me later on or email me, feel free to do so. And so if there's any question from anyone.
Any questions for Happy about Kiwanis?
James?
I know they're very helpful. I know we have the Roland Community Council meetings and our barbecue. They're always the first ones here to help out. They're always the first ones at our festivals, and so you are very helpful to the community, and we appreciate your work.
Thank you. So actually at the Buckboard Festival, we provided our volunteer, there's 20-some high schooler from Roland and Nogales Key Club to participate. We helped set up the event. Kiwanis Club from Hacienda Heights actually helped cook those amazing hot dogs and hamburgers, and our kids served you guys the snow cones and what else, the popcorn and the nachos. So all those youth that even at behind the breakfast bar, they are all from our key clubs. So you will see them in many different activities that throughout, like if there's any service needed, they're very eager and to help and give back. So, but we also need our community that to maybe think about joining and trying to help mentor them as well. So,
Trying to help bring up those reading scores. Okay, I think we have another speaker. Is this Friends of FRC? From Friends of FRC.
Okay, you know what they say, it takes a village. So there's the Kiwanis. I think Denise is gonna talk about women's club. You guys, I'm a teacher. Yeah, I don't think I need a microphone. But I do want to share with you that being a teacher, you can't help but love kids. So when I sort of kind of retired, I got involved with the Family Resource Center. And you're thinking, what does the Family Resource Center do for Roland Unified School District? And we cover some little parts of West Covina. You're talking about redistricting. We pull kids from at least 3 neighborhoods, that Roland Heights, La Puente, and West Covina, and I can even tell you zip codes over there from sending cards and things over the years. But anyway, so the Friends of the Family Resource Center provides for the families that either are low income, their children and the families. You may not know, there's a dental center, there's also a medical facility over in La Puente that serve these people. I went and got my TB test there, paid a minimal of $10, and I have to wait for an appointment at my doctor's office. So these things are available to you as a community member. But the Family Resource Center provides children with uniforms. They work with the food bank people, and these organizations come in and help serve too. They do so many things. Kiwanis provide shoes, the high school Key Club provided socks, so many things. They do draw money from at LACO, and we have a person on our board that really helps us on the board that I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. But that's what we support, that board, but they can only spend money on certain things. They're designated money. So then we formed this community 501c3, all these letters. And we call ourselves Friends of the Family Resource Center because we can spend our money however our board decided. So we raise funds, and the way we do that is, if you can donate, if you want to, I used to not know how to use a QR code, but you guys are good, you'll do it. We do fundraising, so when your kids or your grandkids say, hey, I saw there's a McDonald's fundraiser for FFRC, Friends of the Family Resource Center, come join us. We just made, I think, $600 at McDonald's on the corner of Nogales and, no, not Nogales, Fairway and Colima, just like last month. So, and then we write for grants, and then we have people in our community that work for the district that instead of getting a 60th, a whole bunch of bottles of their favorite beverage, ask their friends to come to their birthday party and bring donations for Friends of the Family Resource Center, $1,500. Now let me tell you what we spend that money on. We spend that money on, I was at their Vita today, and a whole group of kids, the 6th grade, was leaving for outdoor school. If their parents call the Family Resource Center and say, hey, we need camping boots, or we need a backpack for our kid, or we need a winter coat, or my kid needs 2 long sleeve jackets, t-shirts, and jeans, they give us the size. We go out and we purchase that with the donations that we receive from you and the fundraising that we've done. There's nobody telling us, oh, you can't do that. We also, this is my favorite thing, and this is what I'm going to empower you to do. We buy gift cards, I got them in my pocket, for when you guys donate money for the food banks, or you donate canned goods. I remember my daughter would say, well, give me 10 cans of soup or something, Mom, our class wants to win. Well, somebody has to buy the turkeys, the hams, or something for that Thanksgiving dinner. So Friends of the Family, I had a ball at Stater Brothers and Jack's Market buying gift cards and more gift cards, and ding ding, they have to give you a receipt for every one. So we bought, like, I want to say at least 100 one year, $25 gift cards. Do the math, $2,500, right? We bought, yeah, we bought however many I said. Anyway, so that one's fun to do too. But this is my favorite, and I brought my backpack. We had a director, and she taught me to believe this, that if you want to make the poor kids that are living in cars, that are homeless, and either they're homeless, we deal with a lot of homeless kids, and that doesn't mean they're sleeping out on the street with these other guys. That means that they're in multiple families, or they're living in a car, or they might be living in the motel, which Family Resource Center helps support that too. And we get them bus vouchers to get where they need to go. Those kids wouldn't have the same opportunity to go to proms and all of those kinds of things. So we said, it's called Senior Dreams. Well, I brought the camping boot to show you a boot. I brought the shoe to remind you the kids still want to go to prom. And if they're successful and they make it to their senior year, why shouldn't they get to go to prom and have yearbooks and senior photos? So those are the things that we raise funds for. But one of our biggest expenses is making sure that high school students at all 3 high schools get a JanSport. I don't even have a JanSport. I just brought it for you to see. I couldn't afford to buy me a JanSport, nor do I need one. But if I was in high school, I'd want what the other kids are carrying. So it could be an Adidas or a JanSport, but they don't. The high school kids we're talking about, we make sure that they have a top line. So when they lay their backpack down, it looks like everybody else's. We try to even the playing field, and this is the way we're committed to optimizing learning by removing barriers for all students. So I empower you to help us either through your companies, your organizations, people you know, to do that. Get involved in the food banks, get involved in the Kiwanis, the women's club Shoes That Fit. It takes a village. And that's what I have to say. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, David's next. He's going to be talking about Buckboard Days Parade.
Thank you, everybody. My name is David Martinez. I'm the chairman of the Buckboard Day Parade. Unfortunately, this year we did not have a parade, but we are working on for next year's. Kind of like the Dodgers. they hadn't had a parade in 8 years. At least we hadn't had a parade in 1 year. And they're gonna get a parade this year, and so is Rowland Heights, just want to let you know that. A couple of things you need to know is, we were at the festival on Saturday. We had a booth there. We had over 150 signups for this year's parade, not only just volunteers, we got quite a few new vendors coming in the community. We are a 503c1. We always just rely on sponsors to do our work and volunteers, and we have almost all the businesses in Rowland Heights helping us every year, from Chick-fil-A to Crispy Donuts to all the banks. You name a business, Planet Fitness, they all help us out. And it is very expensive to hold a parade. People don't realize that when you do have a parade, there are insurance that you have to pay. There are prizes, there are gifts. There is traffic control, there's all sorts of things that have to be paid by the parade. And luckily, we do have a lot of community support from all the businesses. Second of all, we have the full support of all our 503c1s, from the Kiwanis, the Women's Club, the Lions Club, the school. They are all partners in our big parade, and we've been using them. The Kiwanis provide not only people the day of the parade and the festival, and helping put the parade together. That was one of the things that we're looking for, is more people to help get the parade together. There are a lot of items that need to be taken care of. Contacting our vendors, following up with our vendors. We do have to notify the whole community when we have the parade. We send out maps to everybody, letting them know where the parade is, where the closures are, also how are they going to get out if they need to get out. We have the sheriffs, the CHP, the fire department, and we have them. We've also had different representatives from a lot of sports teams. We have cheerleaders. We're working on getting the Laker girls this year. We got to get to them early because they get booked. Unfortunately, the Chargers don't have cheerleaders. So we try to get them. I know we had the Ram cheerleaders. It was great. All of the cheerleaders from both the high schools showed up, and they actually got to meet those girls. They had a great time. So every year, we try to do something for the community, and we've been very successful. And I'd like to give a big thank you to all the support we get from all the organizations, from both the high schools, their students, the key clubs, all of them. They're the ones that really get it together. And it's one time of the year where the whole community comes together. I've been doing the parade since about 1974 with my Cub Scout group. So it's a good time. You get to see old friends along the parade route and find out what they're doing, how they've been, and we have so many things. And it is a great time to get together. And last parade we had like 75 floats, which was great. Every community group was represented in the parade, along with all the youth groups and everything like that. So I have we revamped our website. We have a Twitter account, we have Facebook, we have a YouTube, and we're coming out with a newsletter for our parade. I have some things here if you'd like to scan them, just to find out what's going on, because it is for the community. It's the one time we get everybody in the community to come out for a couple hours, and it's so great, especially when we have all these different community groups helping us. Any questions?
What about the route? I heard somebody wanted the route changed from Nogales to Oliva.
Yeah, that was the big issue, is they wanted to change from Blandford School to Pathfinder. And it was one of the things that they told us midway. And it takes a lot to plan a parade. Just changing. I mean, can you imagine if they changed the Rose Parade from Colorado Boulevard to, Valley Boulevard? There's so many things that you have to go through. So many agencies, whether it's to do, the changes, also the residents, and people don't realize that when you do change it, you have to look at the parade route. if you try not to go in a residential area, only because insurance costs people causing accidents pulling out of their driveways. So luckily right now, where we have it, there are no residential homes there. It works out great. We have the islands along there, along the freeway. We only have to close down 2 streets. We have plenty of parking at the original site. We have the Rite Aid. We have Big Lot parking lot, and we have where the 99-cent store was at, and that works out perfect for all the families that are dropping off their kids. They can park their cars there and go and watch the parade, and later on either come down there or they can take the county hopper to pick up their car, because it does run during that time after 11 o'clock. So that was a great place. The route has been changed for years. I remember when we used to start at Roland, we would go to the Pointy Hills Mall, and we'd always end up at Rite Aid where they would have a carnival, and it's changed, but we do have a restriction with some of the businesses. Some of the businesses, now they appreciate it. They found out that they get a lot of foot traffic, and that's what they like, and so we have all the support of all the business there. We do get a few remarks, the road is closed, we send out notices, we mail them, and we also handle them. So everybody knows, hey, sleep in for 2 hours or something like that, or come down and watch the parade, and so now, hopefully we're gonna have the parade again next year. So if you wanna come by, I have some things you can scan, that way you can just get on there and find out what's going on. We have a whole group of new people helping us. So it's gonna be great. And we normally don't start till January, but we're gonna start now in October, start getting things lined up. We have to reintroduce ourselves to a lot of our old sponsors, let them know we're still back. A lot of them have already called and want to know what's going on. I said, just get ready for next year. We're gonna have a great parade. Any more questions? Last chance. If anybody would like to sign up, I do have a sign-up sheet over there. If they just want to scan these, I'll be sitting over there behind James, okay?
Thank you, David. Is there any other group? I think Wanda Ewing is speaking on, I'm not sure, on what?
Where's Lee? Oh, okay. Lee, are you? Where's Lee? We just wanted to say a few words about Measure PH that is on our November ballot. Lee knows a lot more about this than I do. I just recently learned about the Pointy Hills Habitat Authority that oversees close to 4,000 acres along our hills here. And so I'll let you add to that.
Thank you very much. Many of you trails are wonderful. Funding provided by Measure PH is a constant source that was ended in 2013. At that time, Bob Henderson, mayor of Whittier, was responsible for money derived by the landfill. As I say, in 2013 it ended, and so consistency level was difficult. Yes, funding was available, or there was a grant, but it wasn't level. However, with Measure PH, funding is raised by 1 penny per square foot of your home, so that if your home is $1,018, then you're going to pay $18 a year. This year, next year, next year. Not a lot, but with everyone doing it, it does make a big, big difference. So we are supporting here for protecting the hills, because it will bring consistency. Rangers who carry water on their truck have the ability to arrest, are out there on the trail because the weeds have been cleared. Goats have come, or there's a tractor that has cleared weeds. I know in my city of La Habra Heights, we were not a city, we didn't have any of these things 52 years ago when my husband and I bought our home. Would we do it? Yes. What is fire season? It starts May the 1st, and when does it end? The next year on April the 30th. It's continuous. I'm for it because that gives us consistency with the 1 penny per square foot. I mean, to me, $18 a year is very, very doable. I taught 40 years, 39 for Hacienda La Puente, 1 year for Camino Valley, and 85. Do I hike in the hills? Of course I do. Walking is just necessary. So, thank you. Yes, lady.
I'd like to start out this way. I've got a first teaching. It's got a name, but that's irrelevant. You just have to bear with me if you could. Judy and I are friends, are members of Friends of the Whittier Hills. This is a 42-year-old organization that's been pressing for preservation of the hills around us. Now, one here, of course, is on your board. All of us are pushing for this measure PH that's on the ballot, the November 5th ballot. Very important. We have to pass this by a 2/3 vote, so it needs a lot of your support. Now, let me talk a little bit about the habitat. Are you aware? How many know about the Poetic Hills Habitat Preservation Authority? Raise your hands. How many know about it? Okay, great. Now, are you aware that this preserve has 3,800 acres and under its control? These are wildlands preserved for us. Do you know where the nearest section is to this of this preserve? How many know where the nearest portion is? Okay, if you go out Pathfinder, the Harbor Boulevard, jog left, and go on Fullerton Road, you are in the Habitat Reserve. That's the Powder Canyon area. Powder Canyon. At one time it was going to be a golf course. Now it's a preserve. This is all part of the Habitat Authority. How many of you were at prior meetings where Andrea Gullo was spoke? Where were you? Okay, and Colors. She is the executive director of the Habitat Authority. And she was speaking, I think, about that. Anyway, I'm a volunteer with the Habitat Authority as well as being on Friends of the White Hills. And we're all pushing for this thing. Now, how many of you have been hiking in the preserve? Raise your hands if you have. Great. Where was it in Potter Canyon? Jabbar. Okay, right. If you go in the Jabbar Park, Regional Park entrance, and go to the end, you can climb up to the Habitat Authority lands. They bus up right into the Jabbar Park on the south side. And those trails, those county trails, are all connecting with the ones in the Habitat Authority. And if you go up that road behind, that's all habitat land up there. Anyway, we encourage everybody to get out on the trails. Bring your kids. I'd like to start with habitat of those who are 70 and older. I'm 89, she's 85. We're going to start this going to the older people and the younger kids, the kids out there enjoying the preserve. Anyway, one thing I'd like to say is, why do we need to pass this measure for the Habitat Authority? This gives additional funding that they need to do minimal maintenance and preservation of the preserve. This preserve has a wildlife corridor stretching from Cleveland National Park out to the southeast, all the way to our preserve, all the way over to Whittier Hills. A good 40 miles of wildlife corridor. That's all allows a gene pool that's still relevant and helpful in the preserve. What else did I? Oh.
You said it all. Did you want to say about this? Okay. If you want to take some of these door hangers to pass out to your immediate neighbors, this would help spread the word of the value of our Woody Hills Habitat Authority.
Thank you. Good point. Good point. No, I just wanted to add that if you're going down the harbor, you might not realize that you're going over an underpass. An underpass, the only one in LA County where animals can rise and not be killed by roadkill, by cars. It's wonderful.
The only one in Lake County.
It was the first and the only one that it's an underpass that Habitat Authority put under Harbor Boulevard. Also, you may have seen a fire in Shabarn Park. Well, fortunately, it was limited to 4 acres, and the LA County Fire Department was able to put it out. And with the ranger, the Habitat Authority ranger was on hand to monitor the situation, and it didn't spread to the Habitat Authority land, but they did use the Hella hydrant port that was just dedicated last year, that Habitat donated land for that tank of water, and the helicopters that fought the 4-acre fire at Shabarn there used that. I think it was the first time that it was used to put out that fire, and it limited it to just 4 acres. So there is the helicopter using dropping water on the fire. So
Let me just remark that this heliport is only one of about 12 different approaches that the Habitat Authority has for fire prevention and fire control. control. So this is an important part of what PH is for.
They lost their funding when the landfill closed in 2013. They came up with a brilliant idea. They went to the LA Sanitation District and suggested, how about 1 penny per ton of waste dumped in the landfill, and that has funded the Habitat Authority for the last 30 years until they lost, until the landfill closed. So they're on a shoestring budget, and this measure is really important.
I've got a few copies here of the Quincy Hills Herald. It's a publication we put out periodically by Friends of the Whittier Hills. I got a few copies. This explains in much more detail the proposition PH in addition to what flyers you have on your chairs there. I'll give those to anybody like a little extra explanation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I think we have our last club speaking is Denise Jackman from the Rowland Heights Women's Club.
Actually, I'm going to talk more about Rowland Heights Community Coordinating Council first. We are a 501c4. That means that a little bit different than a C3, but we're a community organization that coordinates things. So if we have community groups like this that can come and speak to you and give you information about their group, maybe we could all get together and work together and make this community pretty awesome. It's $12 a year, it's $1 a month, and we provide as much as we can from our speakers, from the elected officials that we have, so that we can know what's going on. My favorite club is the Rowland Heights Women's Club. We were founded in 2018 because we saw a lot of strong women in our community that could do a lot of good for our community. We work with Rowland Unified School District for the Family Resource Center. We have provided socks and underwear. We've done food donations. We've done coats. We've done turkey boxes. We've done the Adopt a Family for Christmas programs with them. For the homeless shelters, we've provided food donations. We've created blankets. We've helped with homeless counts. We've read at the elementary schools for their National Reading Day. We've helped with the domestic violence shelter, with hygiene kits, clothing, household items for people who are starting over. We've done trunk or treats for our community that were a great success. Fortunately, under COVID, they went away. We have social events. We have tea parties. We have quartermanias. We have bunco. We have bingo. We have fashion shows, which are all a lot of fun. We have neighborhood watch programs that we worked with Deputy Denver on and creating new neighborhood watch people. We've helped with the Rowland Heights Parade. We take donations for the 29 Palms and Camp Pendleton military families. We do Christmas for children at the Family Resource Center, and we have done families for the military. Whenever Christmas comes around, we always want to help with that. And we've worked with National Night Out with the Sheriff's Department as well. Recently, we just took a donation from our club members, and we're going to be sending money to hurricane victims in North Carolina. We have been very blessed in our community. We've had a lot of support, including from the school district. We've received support from the Buckboard Days Parade from the county. And we would love to have you participate. We are going to be working more with Rowland Heights Community Coordinating Council and possibly doing maybe a children's gift donation to help the kids that are at the Family Resource Center, or maybe even do a letters to Santa that we're gonna be looking at the community for help on. So if you guys have any questions, our membership is $35. That also includes a membership to our district, our state, and our national women's clubs. And there are over 10,000 women in the state of California that belong to the Rolling Heights, I mean, not the Rolling Heights, but to the Women's Club Foundation. So if you have any questions, give me a call. I'm here, or you can email me, or you can see me after. But I enjoy talking. Thanks.
We also raise funds to give out scholarships to the high schools actually we started it last year. So we will be raising money to give scholarships to the high schools. And we also are partnering with Foster Love. And so we volunteer there. Foster Love is a facility that helps those foster children. They get taken out of their homes. Sometimes they get taken out of their homes with just a trash bag that they carry with them. So we make sure they have an actual piece of luggage. So they're not, they're already leaving their homes. We want to have them leave their homes with a little bit more dignity. So we help with that, volunteering. In fact, our next time that we're going to volunteer is Tuesday the 19th. So if anybody's interested in helping us there, our next trip there will be on the 19th of November. Yes, Roy?
We just learned today the state's foster child program has gone since the program. So just to be aware of that, there are a lot of kids, there's a lot of problems, no money.
The program that we work with is Foster Love, and they're located in Brea. It's a privately funded 501c3. And what they do is they get donations from huge corporations like Nike and many other companies. They came and did a presentation at our women's club meeting, and we are making that one of our volunteer organizations for the year. And they're not funded by the county, thank goodness.
And just because something is going awry somewhere else doesn't mean that we stop doing what we can to provide service and volunteer. You know, take a negative and make it into a positive, right?
Yvette is also our past president. She was our second president in existence during COVID. I was the first, and now I'm the fourth. And we have been around for 6 years. So we appreciate all the support that you've given us over the past few years. And that's it.
Thank you very much. I just want to make an announcement for our next meeting. Just like in October, in November, the second Monday of the month falls on a holiday. So mark your calendars that we will be meeting on the third Monday of the month. Okay, I believe it's the 20th? Is it the 20th? No, the 18th? The 18th. So instead of November 11th, Veterans Day, we will be meeting on the third Monday, which is the 18th. Okay, so mark that on your calendar. It's also on your agenda. Hopefully you received that before tonight. And do we have any other announcements?
Announcement.
Yes, Roy.
Great news for Roland Heights. The 99-cent store is going to be converted. It's going to take them 3 months. It's called Fresh from the Farm. You can see the video on my YouTube channel, but it's a great news for Roland Heights.
Great. Thank you, Roy. Anything else? Any other announcements? If not, I see somebody. Yes, Alex.
November 14th is our last school board meeting for us, and it's the last school board meeting for David Malcolm. So I want to invite everyone here if you would like to attend the school board meeting. David Malcolm has 2 terms. He's also the first commissioner beforehand as well, and dual service leader. So if you more than welcome to come to that board meeting and celebrate his tenure.
Yes, very hard worker in the community.
One more thing, we have Miss Ellen Park, who's also vying for that same seat.
You know, Roy, we've talked about this, Roy. We've talked about it. We've talked about it in the last meetings. I've addressed Miss Park. I invited her to a forum. She didn't want to come to a forum. So, yes. So, any other announcements? Ms. Park is more than welcome to stand out there and talk to the constituents that she likes. Just like I don't talk about myself in running because I don't feel it's appropriate here at Rowland Heights Community Coordinating Council. Otherwise, I'd stand up here and talk all day long about myself, and I don't. Thank you. We'll see everybody on the 18th. Good night.